Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's Theological Leftovers. The leftover I have for you today is leftover from last Sunday's Bible class. A verse actually we haven't gotten to, but I prepared it. We'll do it this week, but I prepared it for last week. It's from Hebrews chapter 12. It's part of verse 29, and I'll share it with you in a moment. But first, a little background. We're going to talk about this passage because our Bible study has been focused on the issue of reverence. It comes up from time to time. We talk about reverence. Usually it's because somebody within the congregation doesn't like the way somebody else is acting during the service. For example, there may be somebody who comes and wants to prepare for worship, prepare to receive the body and blood of Christ, and they want some time for some quiet meditation. So they come into the sanctuary, and there's a group of people that are busy talking and laughing in the sanctuary. It's not unusual in a situation like that, if it is something that persists, that the pastor or the elders will have that person come to them and say, can we do something to create a little more reverence before the worship service? These are the sort of things that come up from time to time. Fair questions, sometimes difficult. But one of the reasons it's difficult is because I'm not sure we always understand what reverence is and how it should look, its purpose in our lives. And so that's what we've been talking about in Bible class. Really what we've been talking about is being in the presence of God. Being in the presence of God. How that's possible, what that means. That's the sort of stuff we've been talking about in Hebrews 12. Like I said, we haven't gotten to it, but it is perfect for a Bible study on that sort of thing. And I'll share it with you in a moment. But the reason I chose this out of a whole multitude of things that I could have shared with you is because it got me thinking as I reflected on it about a question that I think probably everybody that's listening will answer the same way, probably. A very general question: do I need God? Now, you and I might have radically different ideas about God, but assuming we believe that there is a God and that He created all things, we recognize our need for Him. Even if all we believe that we have in common is that He daily and richly provides for everything that we need, then we recognize we need God, right? So I think we probably all or almost all answer that question the same way. Yes, we need God. So I have a follow-up question, and this is where there may be a departure, and where this verse that I want to share with you comes into play. The next question is, we agree we need God. What do I need God for? What do I need God for? And one of the reasons why I think often at this point in this question we see a divergence among many of us is because we immediately go to those things that we believe we need. We may be right, we may be wrong, but do any one of us really know everything that we need? Is it possible that we may be wrong about what we need? You know the answer to that question is true. Sometimes, even if it was in our childhood, we were convinced we wanted something very badly. You know, we're in the store or something like that as a 5-year-old, but Mommy, I need it, right? That's kind of the way we talk, and we like to think we've matured beyond that, but we have specific ideas about what we need. We get our wants and our needs often confused, but even if we've matured to the point where that never happens, right? Where when I say I need something, it's not a want, it's a need. Even if that's the case, still, do I know everything that I need? Are there some things perhaps that I take for granted that I don't even recognize are a part of my life? But I need it. I need them. Again, I think we know that the answer is true. So if we have agreed that we need God, in order to answer the question correctly, and I think biblically, what do I need from God? The answer is, I need whatever God is. Whatever he is. What I need from God is not what I want. What I need from God is more than I know that I need. What I need from God is whatever he is. With that in mind, let me read to you, in fact, I'm going to back up, Hebrews chapter 12, verses 28 through 29. The author of Hebrews writes, "Therefore let us be grateful for receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, and thus let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and awe, for God is a consuming fire." Do you need a God that is a consuming fire? Apparently so, because that's what God is, or who God is. We need him to be a consuming fire because we need God to be who he is. Something for you to think about as you study the scriptures, as you look at different stories and different explanations, different revelations from the scriptures about who God is. As he reveals himself, some of those things we're not gonna be convinced in our hearts and minds that we need. But if that's who God is, then that's what we need. Something to think about as you study the scriptures. God bless you this week, and hope to see many of you this coming Sunday.